Good morning and happy Saturday or post first Matrix filling in Save Club history. And so I just woke up a little while ago, had some breakfast, taking care of some other things, hence the hat because my hair is kind of all over the place. But I wanted to give an update on the Matrix and how much spillover took place based on how and when people got in with Save Club during this first set of 10, probably ended up being like 12 days because they started on a Monday, April 21st. It is now Saturday, May 3rd. And there was not a first full week, so they held off on doing the Matrix that first full week. The second full week, obviously, we had that extra additional time to pull people in. And I believe by the time it was set, there was pretty close to 4,000 people, if not from what I saw just in my power line. And then another 10,000 more had still pre-enrolled. So if we actually take a look at this, and I'm gonna close, and I'm not gonna show you down here below what it looked like, but if we take a look at the power line view, so notice 3,500. So again, there's people that are above me. So I'm not seeing those numbers for people that joined before me. I only see people that joined after I had my spot secured. And so, there I am right there. And we see all these people that are underneath that have joined. And almost this, look at this. Wow. This whole first page, the first 100, every single person took action because they wanted to be somewhere up there. Notice it goes, the next 100. Every page is 100. But if we scroll back up, we'll see that there's 14,000, almost 15,000 people total that have pre-enrolled after me in some way or form. But of those 15,000, almost, 3,500 have actually become paid members. So, if you take out 3,500, you're down to, 11,000, 11,500, give or take, with some rough math here. So there's 11,000 people that are still waiting in what they call the power line. They're going to have the next available position once they decide to finally take that action and initiative and actually join. And so if you're curious about joining, feel free to take a look at all the other videos I have. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. And I have a video on the bonuses that are available. I'll be sure to put a link to that below in the description if you want to find out and get some more incentive to join the team. But those people that are in the power line have secured themselves at least a higher position should they join. Because those people in the power line, they will be the first people to be placed next Friday night when they do the next matrix filling. And that's how that actually works. And I'll do a totally separate video on that, but I want to show the numbers. So I appreciate your patience after it not happening last week. So without further ado, let's go back and take a look at this. So notice here I am at the top. Last week, there was no one underneath me. And now, not only are my first 3 levels filled, so I got my top 2, the next 2, but what I want to show you is if you look down here, you'll see, if you look in the bottom right hand, right there, you'll see, okay, Mac, there's me, because I got one at the top. Fortunately, one of my first ones is one of my top 2. But notice Mac, 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 Mac. Okay, we're going Mac, Mac. I think he did all of these. I am just blown away by how fast, and obviously Mac has been a massive producer for many, many years, so that part doesn't shock me. I'm surprised by how fast he was able to get ahead and put some in, even though I had some pre-enrollees right away, and I had secured, or I thought I had secured, one of his top positions. And so when we go into the matrix list view, from what I had thought before, I thought that I had been the top one of his legs and he had somebody else in the top of his legs. But the way I'm envisioning it is that people above Mac also spilled over into Mac. So the 2 of us, instead of being his top 2 people, got shifted. I believe one of us, he was there, the other guy was there, and I believe I got shifted and it actually ended up underneath his other top guy, because I am seeing spillover from both Mac and from his basically his number 1 guy. I was like the number 2 guy. And so You never know who is going to end up underneath you. You never know who you're going to get spillover from. So if we take a look at the matrix list view, we can actually see those full numbers. And so you have to remember, your first level can only hold 2, and then it doubles, and then it doubles, then it doubles, then it doubles. So here we are again, May 3rd, 2025. We're not even 2 weeks into the launch of Save Club, and I already have my first 5 levels completely full. I'm working my sixth level is half full. And you can tell that there is repetition and there's duplication going on, because instead of it just filling across the level and across the level, maybe someone's in the middle and they're starting to build. So they have their own little part that's growing and developing while we're continuing from top and spilling into filling those levels. But we have other teams that are growing. I actually have people down in my 12th level right now. Okay. And I'm sure other people might be even deeper. The people that are above Mac. Okay. Obviously you add the person above me that I mentioned, then you add Mac, then you add, the person who sponsored Mac and the person who sponsored them, and then probably the company. And, right now we're down at least until 15 levels already, and likely it could be even deeper depending on where people have come in and where they start to sponsor. But if you notice, it goes from 2 to 4, just doubling to 8, doubling to 16, doubling to 32, doubling to 64. This will eventually double to 128, then 256, okay, so on and so forth. And one of the things I want to point out is that every month that you stay a member, on the second month after someone has been in the program, you start to earn a commission in them in the monthly matrix bonuses, regardless of whether you put them there or not. So because Mac has placed people here, and because all these other people have placed people underneath me, I'm able to earn a commission on that. And I'm going to continue to build and build and build. Now, like I said, I am really, really surprised by how fast this filled, because even the people I sponsored, I ranked up to 2 stars. And so if we take a look at this for a second, and if we go into my earnings and click on view rank, you'll see that I am a 2-star affiliate, meaning I have over 20 people. Okay, personally, I've sponsored, I think I have 13 connected to me that are officially sponsored in my account. And then some of them have also duplicated as well. And again, we're just in the beginning. Obviously, my goal is to rank up and to go higher. And obviously, I would like you to be here with me. This spillover will continue. As these levels are full, they can only go underneath people. So when you come in now, again, this is still in the very, very, very beginning. If you look in your back office and you only see 1 person underneath you or 2 people underneath you, what happens is, and again, because I had so many people come under from Mac and from the other big guy above me, that basically they did it so fast that they filled up my first 4 levels. So in my scenario, my personals, I mentioned I have the 1 personal on this top level. Okay, if we go back to that, let's see, we'll pull it up here again, my team. And the way that you know when you're looking at a matrix if it is your personal or not, the letters look a little different. So these letters are all in black. But if it is in blue, then you know that you personally signed it. The colors of the boxes are associated with the rank of the person. So like these 3 in this corner have this shade here. They're unranked. That means they may have sponsored someone, but they just haven't sponsored the second person yet. And so you need to have 2 people in order to rank up to that first position to become a 1-star member. So we see, Big Team and Dream Team here. They've created a team of at least 2 people, so they became a 1-star, and maybe they actually have 10, 12, 14, 15. They may have 19 people. They may even have more than that, based on their enroller tree, people they enroll and who were enrolled by them that are directly connected to them, not spillover, but directly connected to them. And they may still be somewhere in between 1-star and 2-star. So one of the regulations is that you have to have obviously so many people in the team. So when we go back to that, or if I open this up in a third window here, we're going back and forth. Let's see, we'll open this up again. going from my earnings into view rank. Notice I need 100 people in order to rank up. But the way that that works, if we go down, we'll click here for the rank advancements. I have over 20 people, and notice no more than 6 could come from any individual person in my tree. So let's say I enrolled only 2 people, but one of them also then sponsored, 19 people, and this guy didn't do anything. There's 20 people, but that's not really balanced out if you think about it. They want you to have more balance. They want you to be participating more, obviously, and so it limits in some extent where you can jump, but it also gives you the incentive to start enrolling more. And it's to your benefit because you match more on the monthly bonuses and you would match more people as you continue to sponsor more. So my goal, I'm on working mode for 3 stars. So of my 100, I can't have any more than 30 coming from one of those people. So let's say I had 10 people that I sponsored. If each of those people also sponsored 10 more, that would give me, 100 just from those people, plus obviously my 10. That makes 110 people. I'm now a 3-star. But if those 10 people sponsor only one person each, and that other guy sponsors 80, I got the original 10, they each sponsored one, so that's 10 more. Plus now we got 80, we're up to 100 and something, 102, I think, if I did the math correctly in my head, 101. I would be over the number, but I would not qualify because more than 30 came from one leg. They cap the numbers that can come from those legs. Again, the main point of my video here obviously was meant to show the power of the matrix and how much has come in. And I believe I have over 200. If I were to count, I think it's pretty close to 200 if I'm thinking that correctly with the math. I just kind of did it in my head quickly earlier. 200 people is going to be $100 a month extra additional income for me not having to have done anything. Okay. Now, again, I placed some of those people in there. I sponsored, like I said, about, a little over a dozen. So some of them are from me. That's only $6 worth. But the other, 180, 190 people came from people like Mac and came from, the other person that kind of the way that the matrix filled. Maybe some of them came from even above. I have to look and see if even some of those are people I didn't recognize that came from above because of the way that it is spilling over. And then obviously, as we're going through, we're seeing duplication take place. As you can see, there's all these 1 star. So they've ranked up, they've sponsored at least 2 people. Let's say we click down here on this one, just pick a random one. He'll now come up to the top. Notice he has a few other people that have also sponsored multiple people. Let's say we click on this one. Notice they have one way down here, okay? And as it continues to go down, so I think this is probably about level 6 or 7 down here. Obviously, in the beginning, we are only 12 days in. So if you did not get any spillover, be patient. Okay, be patient. Spillover is never a guarantee. It is an amazing bonus. But as I mentioned in some of my other videos, for those of you that are in the first couple weeks and the first couple months, the official launch is on June 1st. So we have all of May, we have all of June. Those of you that come in to June, I can see these numbers doubling and doubling and doubling exponentially as we continue to grow. So not only will my, for example, 4th level and 5th levels be full, okay, even my 6th level, but I'm thinking that within the next couple weeks, my 7th level could be full, possibly my 8th. And then you'll see these bigger numbers start to appear down in the lower ends because you'll see pockets. Okay, certain people take action and a majority probably do nothing. Okay, that's the sad part about people trying to achieve success is they think other people is going to do it for them. Now, randomly, does it sometimes happen that you have a person at the top? Okay, if we go back to the very, very top of this and we go here, notice my top 2 people. This one I didn't sponsor. It was from Mac. They started to take action. They've sponsored at least 2, but maybe they sponsored more. Maybe they're not up to the 20 as I just gave you in that scenario. Then I have this person over here. They haven't sponsored anyone at all yet. Or I could take that back. Maybe they sponsored one. I think from looking at my own details, I have not seen them duplicate and sponsor anyone yet because I can see on my team who sponsored who. Okay, that doesn't mean they're not going to. It just means they haven't yet. Maybe they just wanted to secure a spot because they knew this was the right time to get in. So there's been some massive spillover. That first dumping of 3,500 people to fill in is really, really cool to be part of, and to have so much of it below me right now compared to some other things I've done in the past, and I'm still part of in the past if you watch some of my other videos. And those are still growing as well, and I'm still working those, but the products are very different from what we have over here with Save Club. So I'm really, really excited to have seen those numbers this morning. And to be honest, I was a little shocked on who I kind of ended up underneath and who I got a lot of spillover from, because in my head he was going to be on a totally opposite side, so I wasn't going to get any of his stuff, and I was going to maybe have some of the other people that I kept seeing connected to my sponsor Mac, and I got none of those. So you never know how, as they say, the ball is going to roll. The best recommendation I can make for you right now is basically, ready, fire, aim. Get in, take action right now, and then we can start to figure stuff out. As part of my team, I'm going to be sharing a lot of team resources. That's part of my goal and main tasks this weekend is I'm going to be building out my team resource page. You're going to have access to all my bonuses. If you're watching this and if you're somewhere in my downline, if I didn't sponsor you, but you're somewhere in my downline, I'm still going to let you also access these bonuses, because anything that you do and you grow with, that's going to help my overall team, and I'm going to benefit from your efforts, even though someone else sponsored you, even above me, not even directly in my enroller tree. But if I recognize your name, or if you think you are somewhere within a connection to me, reach out to me, let me know. Otherwise, if you want direct access and you want to have a better connection, make sure you join directly with me. So obviously that link will be below as well. As in addition, as I mentioned, the link to the bonus video if you want to find out more about the bonuses and see what you have the ability to share with others as incentives on top of the great value you get from all of the deals. Then all you got to do is click that link and let's take it to the next level. So this is an amazing opportunity. It is just still in pre-launch as of, again, May 3rd, 2025. Official launch June 1st. That's where maybe some more of the deals are going to come out. There may be some, bells and whistles they're tweaking and fixing in the back office. The ability for, certain payments to go into certain countries will be added in. So if you're not seeing certain things right away, just be patient. You can always submit an email to support, and they should be getting back to you within probably 24 hours. Obviously, with a lot of new people, they may be fielding a lot of questions. So hopefully they'll have maybe an FAQ series or tab coming up as well. So again, I want to highlight the fact that I woke up with some really nice numbers, totally filled my first 6 levels, half of my 7th is done, and we are keep growing, and you can see the spillover down into 12 levels. This was really, really cool, which is a great sign of things to come. So take some action, click that link below, and start building out your team. Reach out to your top people, make connections. Reach out, send messages on Facebook. That was one of the first things I did. I reached out to people that I had had previous business connections with and I'd had a relationship with. Maybe I worked with them in another company. Maybe we were in the same company in the past and maybe we had a connection, but we couldn't work together in something else and something else. But I maintained that connection, and then finally it worked out where now we could work together. So reach out to people. That's your number one thing. Find ways to promote socially. If you take action on one of the deals, make sure you share it. Tell people what you just saved and how you saved it and how they can actually save it as well. That's a perfect way to market it. If you are willing, or if you're wanting to get out of your comfort zone, okay, they always talk about growth occurring outside your comfort zone. Maybe create a blog and do blog posts about your growth with the program. Maybe do YouTube videos. Okay, that's probably how you found me. Or maybe embed my YouTube videos on your blog and share them on your blog or your website or your Facebook page, but make sure they use your link. Okay, obviously tell people to use your link, but if you want to use my content, feel free to do that. Okay, I appreciate the extra views. And like I said, I appreciate if you subscribe to the channel so that you get future updates when and if they do come out. So there's a lot of other ways to promote. One of the other main goals that I have is if you can start building your own email list, then you have the ability to quickly send out messages, follow up with people, and develop a relationship with them where they start to trust you, where then they're like, okay, I'm going to take a look at this because I know this guy. He's been communicating. He's fair. He's straightforward. He gives me legitimate information that I can apply, and I want to check this out. So when you see a lot of those massive teams coming in with big leaders, it's because they usually have a very big list. They are not starting from scratch. Even though they say, I'm starting something brand new, okay, it's not like they're starting from new with nobody behind them. They're starting from new, but they have a massive list of maybe 1,000, could be even hundreds of thousands of people, which is why you end up with a situation like I ended up in getting quite a bit of spillover from Mac and this other person. And I'm going to assume, again, I can't guarantee, but I'm going to assume, and I got good thoughts, I'm thinking a lot of positive vibes with this, that over these next few months, they are going to continue because they see the benefits of this, okay? Just going off of Mac, income disclaimer, again, there's no guarantee that anyone ever makes any money in any business. It's all based on your efforts. You have the ability to make some very nice money. Because Mac put in a lot of people, sponsored people, he also ranked up to 4 stars within that first, 10 days. He also got, I believe, part of the bonus pool last night. Now, that's one of the other things they're tweaking. So, for example, when you go into my earnings, it didn't show what we made yesterday. I personally, again, sponsored about 13 people. I made over $300, okay, on my first paycheck and it was directly deposited into my bank account. And see if I can actually pull this up without giving away any details here, but I do want to show this and verify this. Obviously, only do any income claims if you can verify what you have. And again, at the same point, I want to verify that on average, most people probably don't make money. And a lot of that is because they don't take action. The only thing I can ever guarantee is that if you do not sponsor anyone or do not take any action, you will not earn any fast start commissions. Now, should you get some spillover, you have the ability or potential to earn some Matrix bonuses each month, assuming you are registered as an affiliate. So yesterday, again, I got a payment of $374.86. And I just want to look at this and make sure there is no detail. So I don't know how well this will come into focus. I'll hold it, try to close it, but the light is really, really bright. So I don't know if that's coming into focus or not. I apologize if it's not, but it does say Save Club commission. So $374.86. That's what I earned as a commission just from sponsoring people. Now, to put that in perspective, the way that I think Mac is here, and then the way it filled, instead of me being on one of his top 2 people, and that would have even doubled the amount of people that I believe, below me. I'm actually on I believe, his second level, one of those 4. So if you think about it, there's a lot more growth there, and Mac put so many people in. If we go into the leaderboard here for a second as we wrap this up, sorry, not that, that is not what I want to show. All right. Mac Mills, he's close to 200 people. Now, if you're earning a percentage of that, $200 off of each one, 200 times 20, or sorry, you're earning, apologize for in my head, I got all these numbers going on. If you're earning at least $20 per person every time they sign up, that's close to $4,000 right there, I believe. Okay, 200 times 20 is $4,000. Then Mac also earned a percentage based on ranking up. One of the cool things about Save Club is that 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars, and 5 stars each participate in their own little pool individually of each other, so it doesn't compound. And I think part of this is mine too, because I got I think more than I thought I was going to get. Okay, Mac, if you go and if you're friends with Mac or you see Mac's videos, his first paycheck, I believe, was over $6,000. Again, his first paycheck was over $6,000, and that was because of not only his fast starts, but generational matching on the fast starts, and percentages of the upgrades because of people that are on VIP, so he got additional income. So every time, for example, I sponsor someone who is a lifetime, or not a lifetime, but an annual member, I earned an additional $10 on that person. Mac earned an additional $5 on that person. So if Mac has the ability to do that with hundreds of other people that are also sponsoring others, he's earned a really nice paycheck. And so there's a lot of action taking place. There's a lot of growth on the leaderboard. I'm kicking myself in the butt here because as a full-time school teacher, I can't devote all of my time. My goal, obviously, is to retire myself and to be able to focus fully on enjoying life, but also on the business side of things. However, I am in the top 50, okay, of the 3,500 or however, maybe there's a little more than that, but I'm going to guess 3,500 people that originally came in. I'm one of the top 50. Again, like I sponsored a little over a dozen. And my goal is obviously to continue to pace with these people and to continue to rank up. So I would love to be your leader, your mentor, your sponsor on this and in this program, in this growth. So all you got to do is click that button and join. If you have any questions, let me know. But let's take care of this and let's do this. Let's save you a lot of money with the deals. Sorry about that. A little alarm going off. Let's save you a lot of money on the deals, and let's possibly even earn you some money on the other side to break even. Whether you break even just from the deals you save or break even from people that you sponsor. Hopefully it's a combination of both. Get yourself into the black, and we will be off and running with this as it continues to grow from June, May and into June 1st with the official launch through the rest of the year. Well, we will see some massive growth in people coming from all of other different countries, and then it will just continue to compound and basically expand. So let's be together with this. Join me, lock in, say, and in your head, be glad you did, not wish you had. So let's do this. Click that link below, lock your spot in, and let's take this to another level. All right, again, this has been Dave Gardner. Take care.